My uncle made me cover the stupid cart because my aunt had to go to the hospital. It's just bread. Whatever. I stared him down some more. A couple of minutes later, I left the cart with 2 acceptable pretzels and a little container of mustard and followed Sweater Guy toward the library. I found him sitting under a tree on a bench, tucked behind a wall and a set of stairs to the library's side entrance, hidden from view unless you were looking for him. He had his sweater spread out on the bench next to him, now spotted with bits of lint from the handful of napkins he was using to dab at the mustard stains. Santa Rafaela didn't exactly get cold compared to most places, but an icy breeze had been blowing down from the mountains all morning, and he had goosebumps on his arms and shoulders, sitting there with nothing but a black undershirt over his jeans. He looked up as I approached, and froze, mouth hanging open, his face going even brighter red. Jesus, he had green eyes. Big, wide, bright green eyes, like some kind of freaking Disney cartoon character. These pretzels aren't exactly the best, but they're not lies, I said, because my brain had stalled. He blinked up at me, looking even more like a cartoon, with the long eyelashes fluttering and everything. I fought the urge to shuffle a little and fidget. Shit. Did he think I was flirting with him? Following him over here with his not-a-lie pretzel? I mean, if he'd been a cute girl, I'd have so been flirting with him. A pretzel rescue would be a great way to meet someone. I always had trouble striking up a conversation without a good reason. You know, I don't even like mustard, he said at last, his mouth turning down into something between a frown and a pout. I looked down at the mustard I'd brought him, feeling even more like an idiot. Oh, shit, he said, his voice going high. I'm sorry, that was so incredibly rude. One of those is for me, right? That was so rude, I'm so sorry. Thank you for bringing me that. You seriously didn't have to. That was so... You're welcome. It's no big deal. No worries. I cut in, now as flustered as he was. Jesus. First, he sat there staring at me, and then the flood of apologies. It was giving me whiplash. The mustard can be for me. I like it. Just not all over my shirt, obviously. Well, he didn't own the bench. I sat down a couple of feet from him and held out the pretzel that hadn't been in my hand with the mustard. After an instant's hesitation, he reached out and took it. A gust of wind whistled through, and he shivered, his hand shaking a little, bits of salt falling off the pretzel and right onto his mustard-spattered, lint-spotted sweater. He made a comical little horrified face that had me biting my lip to keep in a laugh. I don't think even dry cleaning can save this, he said mournfully, and blinked up at me with those sad eyes. Yeah, and even if dry cleaning had any hope, this guy was going to freeze to death first. Fuck it. I had a t-shirt and a flannel button-down on under my black jacket. I carefully set my pretzel and mustard down on the little piece of waxed paper it had come with, on the other side of me, because that sweater didn't need any more abuse. Slid my backpack off my arm and set it on the ground, and shrugged out of my jacket. The guy stared at me some more as I wordlessly held it out to him. You know, he said at last, I've been having the shittiest day. And now I have a pretzel, and, a knight in shining armor. He shot me a coy, sideways smile. Oh, fuck. He did think I was flirting. I had to correct him before he figured it out on his own and got all embarrassed. I'd been there more than once, and it sucked. But he kept talking before I could think of a tactful way to do that. Are you really giving me your jacket?